Hey everybody, it's Tripl-L coming in with a Shokugeki no Soma video. This time specifically, I'm here to spoil stuff for the wonderful anime viewers. YouTube seems to think I should do this topic, and who am I to say no? Also, only 4% of my subscribers watch my videos. That's depressing. That's ridiculous all too. Please subscribe. You're missing out. Anyway, this video is just telling you why Joichiro fell in love with Soma's mother. There's a chance this might be in the anime, but the anime is already adapted to some scenes early, so it's kind of hard to tell. I'm also going to tell you how she died because that's the thing that's the most likely thing to be skipped. Anyway, this content comes from Shokugeki no Soma Les Desserts, the epilogue for the Shokugeki no Soma manga. You can check out these chapters over at Viz. Any hoosers, here's the story I'm gonna spoil for you. Joichiro was pretty depressed. He got swallowed up by the storm, the metaphor that Shokugeki no Soma has. It got to the point that cooking just made him feel really sad. It was a really sad plot point. Anyway, Joichiro was just being a high school dropout hobo one day, and he was back in Japan, and he was feeling pretty antisocial, which honestly we can all relate to that. He went out, and in his wandering around, he found a Yukihira diner. He went in and he did the reasonable thing. He ordered the chef's special, and believe me, the chef was really special. It was Tamako, and she fed Joichiro something truly revolting, so much so someone regretted not warning him. Anyway, Tamako was fiery, man. She was a former delinquent who now worked with her dad at the diner and had a little bit of a smoking habit. Joichiro was pretty shocked that Tamako could just casually serve terrible food until he saw how happy the diner's environment was. Anyway, this led to him coming back to the diner repeatedly whenever he was in Japan. Now at this point, that made sense. Joichiro's depression came from the expectation that he constantly had to one-up himself. But here you had a situation where someone was failing aggressively, but was still happy amongst the customers. Anyway, Joichiro eventually got to the point where the diner regulars asked him to cook, to which Grandpa Yukihira was totally on board. And after a round of cooking, Tamako was too, saying that he was now part of her gang. After this point is where the romance really began for the pair. One day while cooking, Joichiro asked the lady how she could keep on cooking when she sucked so hard, like really just the worst in the kitchen. This is the kind of person that'd probably get sued. And she said she'll do what she wants. And also, she likes seeing the customers happy, an actually good reason. It was really cute when she said it. Now, Joichiro was hit by a sudden realization that enjoying the smiles people get from your food is a perfectly down-to-earth reason to fight for. Joichiro felt his own problems start to untangle at that point. He then made the note that seeing Tamako smile made him feel warm on the inside. In other words, he started feeling happy again. And man, that was super touching. The guy had direction in his life once more. 10 out of 10, well done. You can tell this is where the find someone you want to cook for rhetoric really came from. Now, the next time we see them is after Joichiro has told Tamako about his burnout in high school, and, she feels bad for him. I mean, she's a nice person. But she also noted that he was still cooking and mentioned that Joichiro gets a look that she really likes seeing whenever he was cooking. Now, I'm not sure if you could tell, but that was her flirting with him. Anyway, she kicks him out of the gang immediately after, like the freeloader he is, and then promptly promoted him to her boyfriend, or whatever this means. After that, we see her pregnant, and then after that, we see the little glimpses of their life together. It was honestly an extremely cute story. It was drawn after the manga ended properly for the epilogue chapters. I'm glad that we ultimately got it, but unfortunately, this story has a sad ending, and man, I'm barely holding back the tears. It sucked while I was writing this script, man. So the anime showed a few of these scenes, but they glossed over why Tamako really died. At the time of the chapters, people thought that she died of lung cancer because of the way that smoking habit was portrayed. It was the only thing that we had that we could latch onto at the time, but it was actually more depressing. So Soma found Tamako one day after school clutching her chest. Tamako had a birth defect in one of her heart valves. The doctor said it went undetected because there were no symptoms of the problem. Worse is, I think that the doctor said that normally that was the type of thing that someone could grow out of. Tamako didn't. So Tamako's battle with it just lasted for a month. So all in all, it was just really depressing. This is like one of those stories that makes you want to hug your loved ones every day kind of thing. The shots of Joichiro and Soma afterwards were also super depressing. After her passing, what helped Joichiro get out of his funk was restarting the cooking battles that he and Soma had initially started when Tamako was around. Soma would compete with his dad, and Tamako would be the judge. In her passing, the cooking battles were depicted as the tool that brought Joichiro and Soma out of their grief, and also as the tool that allowed them to continue paying respects to Tamako's memory. And that's it. That's the story of Tamako and Joichiro's love life, and the story of her passing, and I guess of the many ways that Tamako lives on within Joichiro and Soma. It was a really well executed story. It was a really well executed storyline, in all honesty. It was a really well executed storyline, in all honesty. And now, as we're getting close to the anime ending, we're on the week of episode 11. I really hope that this particular storyline gets the proper justice it deserves, at least with Joichiro's narration of this particular storyline. Anyway, everyone, what did you think of the storyline if you saw it? Let me know down below. Also, are there any other anime storylines that you've seen that are comparable to this one in terms of the tragedy occurring to a main character and their family? Let me know if you got any down below. Of course, keep it to the down-to-earth ones. We don't want anything extreme like the ones from Naruto. But yeah, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I hope you have an absolutely great day. And subscribe. Come on, let's get that 3% up to a nice 10%.